Google Marketing Live is just a few hours away, and I'm so grateful to be here. This is my first time as a creator ever invited to something like this, and I am hyped. I just attended Google Marketing Live yesterday and it was incredible. Here's what this means for your business. Here are the 5 takeaways. The first one is the best ads are answers. You got to think, people are no longer searching 2 or 3 words and you are targeting a keyword. What's happening now is people are typing in queries and ideas 2, 3, 4 sentences long. And so basically AI is running the whole show here. You have to use PMax and AI Max for your ads. And then when someone types something in, like a long 3-4 sentence query, those will get matched up specifically with your copy and your content. That matches what they're looking for. So if someone types in, I need really good bedding for lower back pain, and then your ad then says something about lower back pain, now those connect. Winning ads in 2026 are now going to be answers. And if you are a small and medium-sized business, this is good news for you because you already know what your customers and clients are looking for. Now, this one is insane. You could operate like an enterprise level customer in Google Ads without the enterprise level fee. They just introduced Ask Advisor, and this gives you the ability to ask questions across your Google Ads, your Google Analytics, and your Google Merchant Center in one conversation. Plus, you could tell it what your goals are and it will remember your goals, and then you could optimize all your campaigns around that. The moat that used to exist for agencies is no longer there. As a small or medium-sized business, you could get into your account today and learn and develop and process and strategize as an enterprise level customer. And this is the quote that stuck out to me the most that was said. Execution is becoming a commodity. Think about that for a minute. It is insane to think that this used to be like, oh, well, as a marketer, I want to do all this different work, but the hard part was the actual execution. Execution is becoming the commodity that AI is taking out all of the nuance and minutia of the work and allowing you as the marketer to really focus on the high level strategy. And this leads us to number 3, which is one of my favorites. YouTube is not optional. I have been telling this to brands that I work with, but now it's even more real. Demand gen is a very important aspect of your business. You can't focus in on just the last click to track conversion. The way people go through a process, through a funnel, is not just on the last click. Let me read some of the numbers that they said. YouTube now reaches 90% plus of the US adult market. Just think about that for a minute. Basically, everyone in America is watching YouTube. Plus, they deliver 86% higher effectiveness than social ads. But the real unlock for SMBs is gonna be demand gen. So the same way anybody would be like, oh, I need to go viral on YouTube, I would think about it like this. I would think, oh, I need to have a demand gen campaign running on YouTube. Hands down, one of the best ways. Plus, I use a specific approach with the brands I work with that are seeing an extremely good return on their ad spend. So if you want to do a sponsored video, hit me up. But this entire game of YouTube and Google and how integrated they are is no longer an option to think about YouTube or maybe making one video. This is way bigger than that. The videos you publish on YouTube can show up on Google, and what people search on Google can give them answers that have parts of videos that link to your product or service or your location. And if you follow that back to YouTube and you think about the new release of Ask YouTube, that is even more place for your business to be seen. But specifically, when we're talking about running ads, YouTube demand gen is a no-brainer. And if you do struggle to create videos, they do have a whole suite of tools that they just released as well. Next, let's talk about number 4, discovery to checkout in one click. Now, I know this sounds a little bit crazy, but just think about when Apple Pay first came out. It seemed a little bit scary at first, like when should you use it, when should you not use it? And now we don't even think about it. You just double tap your phone, and you're good to go. Google is rolling out native checkout basically anywhere on Google and YouTube. So you could be watching a video about the best bedding, and then mid-roll ads can show up, and then there can be products listed with buy buttons there as soon as they click it, and then they could check out with Google in literally a click. And this is what they have set up called their Universal Commerce Protocol. Amazon is using it, Meta is using it, Stripe is using it, it's all connected. And basically it's to be said like this: if you sell anything and you are set up with your Google Merchant account, this may have just become more important than your website, because it's gonna provide rich, well-structured data and information so that the potential buyer can make the right decision in the moment for what they're searching for, with their query being answered. And this leads us to number 5, and this is more of a philosophical idea, but if you are running a business and you are trying to get new customers, everyone always says you should be running ads on social, and I'd agree, but we really got to be considerate here of who actually has, and this is my 5th point, quality of information. Google just wins at quality of information. There's no one who even comes close. And I did get to chat with the lead on that project, Sylvanus, and here's a question I got to ask him. So the first thing I want to start with is, when it comes to these new formats, what excites you the most about them?
So I think these new formats are very user focused, trying to make experiences that are more helpful, especially in AI context.
Yeah.
Like when you're having a conversation, the last thing you want is to feel like you're getting in a flow, and then there's this disjointed ad that doesn't look like it's a part of it. It's not relevant.
Yeah.
So we're very intentional, and we're going to keep experimenting and keep iterating, but make it a part of the conversation.
Yeah.
It should look like it's part of it. It should sound like it's part of it, and it should be a natural, almost like in good. We kind of say the best ads are answers. That's the tagline.
Yeah.
You want it to be so good that it's like, oh yeah, that's a natural part of a normal answer. It just happens to be that it's an ad.
Yeah.
And it's actually helping me as a user move forward, move further down in my consideration.
Yes, that's so good. That's so good. I think too, when it comes down to creators, how do they, as you kind of see this ad landscape changing, where do you see creators playing a role in that?
One thing, no matter how much AI advances, we still need, and we'll always want people to bring their creativity, their inspiration, and their experiences, the real world pieces.
Yeah.
So we can't predict what would be the next creative way to either talk about a brand, to highlight capabilities. There's so much creativity that we humans have.
Yeah.
So leaning more into that, hey, here's my niche, here's my angle.
Yeah.
Here's a new way to bring this either to a directly to a user or to a B2B to influence that. Bring that and being yourself, that will naturally get people attracted and attention.
Yes.
Then the AI will reference oh, hey, answers from your experiences, also even saying, hey, so and so says. And then and by the way, here, if you want to learn more.
Yeah.
So I feel there's always going to be that role.
Yeah.
Right. AI just might make it so that how the time you took to go from your initial search and clicking on maybe 10 links and then finally finding your way.
Yeah.
It might summarize certain things or highlight, hey, here's a great user who talks more about it, or see how they talk about it in this video. You go, oh, I'm really curious. That was great. I want to learn more and watch the whole thing.
Yes. That's great. Yes, because AI overviews are showing videos as part of the answer.
Exactly.
And so it's adding in a new dynamic of not just the text and the blue links, but also these videos that really help a user, someone who's searching or setting up a query, to understand what the whole landscape.
Exactly. And the system can know, and will, especially over time, understand what you actually talked about in the video, where the highlights, even able to get people to, hey, here's the video, and maybe even this specific part of the video, again, just shorten the time to get to their answer.
Yes.
But I still think this is a great opportunity for creators.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. I also got to chat with Downey, who leads a lot for Google in the Americas. I was honored to have the conversation with him, and he gave some great insights. YouTube is such an important part for brands to get out there and creators to create content to support brands as well. How are you seeing like these new updates and everything being released today and yesterday at I/O impacting how brands should be thinking about leveraging YouTube or working with creators?
Yeah, well, I think regardless of the product updates, brands and creators belong together. The big thing that matters is you have to create some sense of desire for your products that's best served through authenticity and through creating trust. And that best vehicle is proven time and time again to be through authentic creator voices who can talk about the things that people want. And it really builds trusted communities. It really builds trust and resonance. And then a brand can do better because they're a part of that really big community that they're looking to go after. Right? That's the premise of what every brand's actually seeking. And we're trying to help make those matches better. So if you see things like Ads Partnerships Hub, those are things that are helping brands find creators that might have the same content that they want. So if I'm a software company, I want to find a software creator. That's a way for that. We're trying to make sure they can be connected at scale. We've taken that API and we put it in front of all the IMAs out there so that they can start to match their brands with the right types of content. But ultimately, it's about giving them scalable things through tooling and APIs that allow them to find the community that works best for them.
As a creator, I find that relationship is a win-win-win. I always say that to brands, it's everybody's going to win in this because it allows the creator to talk about things they love and share products and tools or services or whatever that may be, what they love. At the same time, share the brands and at the same time, helping users find potential products or services that they're looking for.
Because the thing we know about YouTube is that people go there with intent, right? So they go there with intent to be entertained, obviously, but also intent to learn. So if you have an info channel, that matters, and they have intent to make decisions, right? And what they're looking for is to create a sense of trust for the consumer that this is a right brand to purchase. And that trust, a creator's a vehicle of that trust, right? Because they've worked so hard to develop those relationships and those communities because it's all shared interests and shared passions. And if a creator can tap into that community, then a brand's going to want to make sure they put their brand right next to it, and that creates exactly what they're looking for with a trusted relationship.
Now, the final thing I would say is just something that really interests me in today's ecosystem, market, and how all this advertising stuff works. It's great to run beautiful ads, create amazing creative, and publish it across all platforms. But I think what's more powerful is not just having great content internally, but also the creators you partner with. I don't just say this because I'm a creator. I say it because the way that Google and YouTube are so intertwined, there's a level of the human engagement and experience that we still value. So whether an AI gives you all the answers on why this laptop versus that laptop is a better choice for your needs, it's great to hear it from another human. So if you're a brand, and even if you are a small and medium-sized business, it's worth having content on YouTube that talks about your brand, your product, your service, what you offer, because that all leads to people being able to find you, discover, take action, move forward, whatever that next step may be. I was honored to attend Google Marketing Live. Thank you guys so much for inviting me. It was literally a treat, and I love the way Google treats people. They just take care of you from beginning to end. It was a wonderful experience, and thank you to everyone who helped me, Brittany, Chelsea, Farrell, and a few others on the team that just made the entire experience delightful. If you have any questions on Google Marketing Live, leave them down below and we'll talk soon. Peace.